I am a risk taker. I do believe you can figure out everything. I believe in teamwork. Whatever you don't have, whatever you don't know, you hire people or you bring in co-founders that are very good at what you're not good at. So when you start from that, it's a lot easier to pivot, right? So, for example, in philanthropy, when I first pivoted into philanthropy, I took a very difficult course at Stanford. And the reason was because at that time, it was my second pivot, really, that was, really out of anything that I would have done, management, figuring out hiring, HR. There's a lot of, it was founding a foundation from the very beginning. So there was a lot of learnings from somebody who was, in front of camera or teaching, and everything was happening in the department. I was never head of a department. And so I took courses just to make sure that I know what I'm getting myself into. Again, because yes, I'm a risk taker, but I have a family, I have children, right? I don't want to get into something that would completely take me away from my children. And what are the skills that I need to be the best at what I'm doing? And so I took those courses, I analyzed myself. And one of the nice things was, I didn't know it at the time, but there was something called 360 assessment. And so when they did the 360 assessment, and I was very young at the time, at that time, people didn't do this in their early 30s. I figured out what I'm good at and what I'm not good at from a very early age in my career. So I knew what kind of people that I need to look for to help me perform to my utmost potential. Priority. I want to make 5 million riyal, 5 million riyals. I'm not able to do it being myself, which is a gardener. I want to garden. It's not going to happen, right? So it's an ecosystem of figuring out so many different puzzle parts and then fitting the puzzle as you move along. In your 20s, it's different than your 30s, it's different than your 40s. But when you know the building blocks, you can shift them around to be as happy as possible, right? Fi had said, how do you balance life, work, demanding schedules? أنا عندي البرايورتيز حقتي. Did I succeed in everything? No. حاولت بس ايش اقول لك برضو حوقف قدام ربنا and I will tell God that I did the best that I could at the moment that I was with the knowledge that I had. ما سويت شيء knowing إنه it was not good for my priorities or my children or الأمانة اللي ربنا حطها علي. So one of the things that I did was I took a major step back. In 2019, I left all my boards. I just basically went down from being 100, let's say 80% of what I do to 20%. لأنه أبوي كان تعبان. And I knew I could not forgive myself for not being there. He's very old. My mother is also very old. They needed me, and nobody else was stepping up. And I do not resent my siblings for not stepping up. I think they should have. بس كل إنسان عنده his own priorities. I was acting upon my priorities. I did not impose that on others. فلازم تعرفي نفسك and just know the building blocks and then you move it.